Hey guys, how is everyone's going? My name is Quan. I am your host in this evening. So today's topic will be Shopee versus Lazada. And today is a threesome live. We have Dylan, our seven figures Shopee seller, which is a very successful entrepreneur. And also we have invited a very special guest, Ming, the founder of AutoBug Club. Let's welcome both of them. Hello guys. How is everyone getting? Before we go into the topic, I would like to have these opportunities to introduce Style.C online store, which is our lucky draw for this evening is sponsored by them. So what they're selling is like a super soft toothbrush. It is super soft, which when you brush on a piece of tofu will not crush one. So it's super soft. Yeah, and we are going to give out three this kind of toothbrush to you guys. I actually have this photos of you guys can see it all lah.
Wait on, wait on. Actually, I saw that picture and
Uh-huh.
I was very interested in that. How can we buy if I'm not
Okay,
participating in the
you
article, right?
just go to style.c. They have actually a Facebook page. Yeah, it's called style.c as well. So if you guys are interested, you can PM them on style.c. And they are actually open for stockists as well. So if you are anyone, if you guys are interested in selling these products in Shopee or Lazada, just ping them on style.c. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. And yeah, do you want to I'm pretty sure most of us already know Dylan, So Dylan, we are going to keep you aside first, okay? So for Kwame, do you like to introduce yourself a bit so that all of our audience knows you a bit better?
Yeah, sure, Ken. I'm actually an ex-corporate oil and gas person. I was in oil and gas for about 6 years in Shell doing project management. I left in around 2016 in June. And then in 2018, I started my own business, which is we started selling on Lazada and Shopee. Now we are top sellers for the motor category for Lazada and Shopee. Yeah, so in short, that's a little bit about me.
I briefly go through the shops that you have in Lazada and Shopee. The shop in Lazada is actually doing better than Shopee, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for me, I guess for different products, I mean, we are in the seller of we are in the community of sellers as well. Most sellers I know have both stores on Lazada and Shopee. Yes, for us, our Lazada stores, I think doing at least 5 to 7x Shopee. If you ask me why, I don't know. The pricing strategy is the same. Photos as well, more or less the same. Just that I think in Lazada, we are able to do more stuff because it's the backend is a bit more complex. So you can actually put in more photos, more videos and whatnot, which in Shopee you can't. So maybe our product needs a lot of explanation. So we do actually have to share a lot of things. So I guess customers are just more comfortable buying from Lazada from us. Not sure why.
Yeah, I saw some of the products car batteries, right? Is it
yeah, jumpstart maybe.
Box?
Yes, it's a jump starter power bank. So basically, it's a kind of like a power bank that you can use it just like any other regular power bank. But the difference is that other than charging your USB devices, you can also jumpstart a car.
Do you mind telling us how old are you actually?
I'm only 18. I just turned 18.
Don't lie, bro. Don't lie.
I started working. Yeah, I started working in oil and gas 18 minus 6. So when I was 12 years old, I started working already.
So Ming, Dylan, and you, we are three of us are at the same age now, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you started your business though? How long?
I'll say June. We registered a company in January 2018. So registered SSM and whatnot. In June 2018, we officially started. So yeah, it's June now. I was just looking at the calendar on my desktop. So it's about 2 years, I would say, yeah.
So how many partners do you have in your business?
Only two. So me and my other business partner, which happens to be my brother.
mean,
Yeah.
why this type of why auto business and not others? Is it like your passions, the things that you like, or because I
Uh,
can see you wearing
First,
a
yeah, I think firstly, auto it's something that a lot of people can relate to. Most people, at least in Malaysia, you have a car or you drive a car. Malaysian ownership of vehicles is quite high, and it's something that I'm naturally passionate about. See my cat BMW. So I think cars is for me when I wanted to start. I wanted to start a business that I'm naturally passionate about, so I don't have to force myself to work. Like I don't have to force myself to wake up every day to go to work. Now to me, work is like not like work because I actually enjoy what I do. So it's quite nice in that sense. Yeah.
so it's like the things that you like and you turn it into a business. Is it some
Yes, pretty much yes. The things that I like, something that I think I can do really well. So then it balance it out really well in that sense.
okay? A very interesting question. Not very interesting question is that I'm pretty sure that I mean, the salary that you get, from your business, I mean, from your work, your oil and gas,
Yeah.
it's not like small money. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, yeah, but why? I mean, most of the people will get so comfortable with their kind of money, but why you want to like quit a job, and venture into a business that you do not know whether it works or not?
I think for the simple reason it's that I know, like for example, Dylan, it's someone that I admire because he didn't want to work, he didn't want to study, and he started his business straight away. That's like super amazing. For me, I wanted to basically like see something different. So I wanted to go into corporate. So the story was I was actually in Beijing. I lived in Beijing for about half a year. This was from
For work or
October, I think 2010 to about March 2011. This was before Alibaba was big, and I felt that e-commerce was an up and coming market. So I wanted to go there and understand the language. From a sekolah kebangsaan, so I couldn't speak Chinese.
Chinese.
Yes, it's only Malay and English and Hokkien dialect. So I wanted to understand Chinese. I wanted to understand how do they shop, how do they buy stuff. So that's why I went to Beijing. It was like, yeah, study Chinese as well. I studied the e-commerce market. When I came back in March 2011, I wanted to start a business already. But when I look at the e-commerce landscape then, there was like, I think lelong.com, there was Maybank to you. So it was like um, very new. I would say like it's not a lot of opportunity. And back then, I remember those days people are still worried about like what if people steal my credit card details, and they were worried about
Yes,
putting their
yes.
credit card details online. So that's when I thought, I think e-commerce is not ready in Malaysia, and that's when I went back to corporate. So I got a job in Shell, which I didn't expect, and I thought I was only going to stay for 3 years. But every year they actually moved me from. I started in Cyberjaya, they moved me to Miri. After Miri, I was in Perth, then Perth back to KL. So every other year, 1 year or so, they moved me from one place to the next. In the first few times, it got a bit like funny because like my colleagues, when they move position, they go from one floor to the next floor, right? I have to pack up my bags and move myself to another place.
Another
So
place.
I'm thinking, why so unfair? I was like looking forward to just pack my stuff on my table and move. So they move me all over the place. I basically have to rebuild my life or my social network many times throughout these years. It's also taught me a lot about like living independently, and it's made me at a certain point. I think after my second move, it made me like comfortable. Like I'm used to it already. Like I like to be thrown into a new location. You got to set up your bank account, find your new house. Blah blah blah, everything from scratch. So that was really fun. So the first challenge was moving location within Malaysia from east to west. Then after that was moving country. So that was even more difficult because when you move country, a lot of things are very different. So it just made me like becoming the uncomfortable has become a comfortable for me. So I'm just used to that, the sort of challenge. And then when they moved me back to KL, it's like, okay, it's like, a bit comfort zone because KL it's a place where I grew up, right? So moving back me to Shell in KL was like I was just used to a lot of stuff. The projects, sorry to say, weren't as challenging as before. I was doing very big projects, anywhere from the biggest project I was part of was 12 billion US dollars. It was the biggest project Shell ever did at the time. in Australia. It's called Prelude FLNG. So if you Google that up, you can actually see that that is actually a history for mankind, because it's the world's biggest structure that man has ever made that they put into a sea. It's like a whole big...
When was that though?
It's off Australia, so 200 kilometers off the northern Australia, which is this part called, I think, Broome, if I'm not mistaken. It's a whole floating like factory altogether. Yeah, so pretty amazing stuff. So we're part of that project. And when I came back, and then I was doing like big projects, but like, 1 to 10 million USD kind of thing. So while it's challenging, it kind of like, when you've seen so much, then you see like 1 to 10 million and be like, okay, then after that, it was like the downturn of oil and gas, whereby the price was dropping from like $100 USD per barrel to about like $60. So what that means was that most consumers would think, yay, it's really nice, I get like cheaper petrol at the petrol station. But a lot of consumers also didn't know that oil and gas companies, they made the most money from actually upstream, which is like extracting oil from the ground, like selling it per barrel, crude oil. Yeah, it's not like selling it at the petrol stations. Those are like, you're probably earning like 5-6 cents per liter, which is not a lot. Whereas like you can earn like maybe 40-50 USD per barrel. So that's a huge difference. So cheaper oil, it's not really good, because oil and gas companies actually, they buy a lot of services. So when they stop spending, a lot of people along the chain also get like, they don't get a lot of disposable income. Like maybe we won't hire Schlumberger, to do business, and then Schlumberger people will not have businesses, projects and whatnot. So it's actually a chain effect. It's just like how you see MCO kicked in, a lot of business can't operate, tourism business can't operate. So there are not a lot of money circulating around. So it's in the same manner. When oil and gas prices is high, more people tend to spend, because these are really big spenders. Look at Petronas alone, right? Malaysia's biggest spender, you can say, almost contributes so much money to the government. So yeah, going back to the question as to like why I stopped was because initially I told myself I wanted to be like for 3 years, right? And then after that, it went on to 6 years. So when I quit, I was like twice over the duration already. So it's like looking at myself, like, wow, I'm really like 12 years old. I'm now 18 years old. So old. Luckily, still younger than Dylan. Dylan's really 21 now. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm so old already. Then how long do I need to wait to start my business, right? So I started my business lah. And I think the difference is that when you have your own business versus working for people is that when you work for people, you are always somewhat tied down, like 9 to 5, or for me, it's projects. So it's like my project hours is like 160 hours a month, because you work 9 to 5 a day. It's 8 hours a day, pretty much. And 8 hours times 5 in a week. So like 40 hours a week. Then 1 month is like four weeks now. So 160 hours. So my 160 hours, it's traded for a salary. So let's say, example, if I earn 16K, right, in a month lah, it's only 100 ringgit per hour.
I mean, if you divide it into
if I divide it by 160 lah, so right, so I can count my per hour like salary and whatnot, and that actually allow me to think very business-like as well. So like, let's say like some people, they like to wash their own car. Then they think, hey, I go to a car wash in One Utama, 25 ringgit to wash my car, expensive. For me, I think it's cheap, because if I have to spend 1 hour washing my own car, my per hour rate costs $100. Right? So I rather pay people $25 to actually wash my car, and I have that 1 hour back. Like let's say I can have a meeting with Dylan at 1U. If I send my car to a wash, as opposed to if I wash my own car, I lose 1 hour a day. So that also made me like very kiasu when I was in like oil and gas, because I was a project manager. So part of my job is to calculate this thing called FTE. FTE is like full-time employee, or like workman hours. So like when I build a project team, I need to budget like, okay, I need this engineer for how long. So I need to know his per hour rate, or per week, or per month. Then I need these products or these services, So it's basically products and services. Services as in people, manpower, skills. So a lot of my time is spending like managing these budgets. So it also made me like calculate a lot. And what was good was that this skill I can actually translate into doing business, because if you can run a project very well, a business is like a project. You're managing like basically like budgets, you're managing time, you're managing people, or you're outsourcing to somebody and whatnot. And in projects, we outsource a lot as well. a lot of services we buy from experts in the industry because it's just too big. You can't do everything yourself, right? Like Shell will focus on maybe exploration, and then when it comes to certain things, we have like a different players supplying different kind of, you know, all kind of stuff. So yeah. So going back to the question again, why I started working for myself, because I want back that time for myself, to do things that when I was like working for somebody I couldn't, right? I always have to, like, you know, I was tied back to back projects. I don't have too much free time for my own, to travel and whatnot. So yeah, I basically just wanted back this time for myself to explore and to do stuff. And like, what a better way to do it than in e-commerce? You ask Dylan, you know, you see his business now, right? We are here talking. He's out there drinking, celebrating his friend's business. His Shopee store still got business, still got people buy things from him. So what other business you can say that, hey, I'm here talking to you guys and my store still making money? Not many people can say that. So to me, that's what I see. And what I see also is very powerful is that in e-commerce, right, you can scale. You see, today I'm 18 years old, younger than Dylan 3 years. I only got 2 stores. Ask Dylan how many stores he got. So, but okay.
Yeah, combining Lazada and Shopee, I think I got 11.
Yeah, see,
Combining both.
he's got 11 stores. So what I needed to do was like, I also need to make sure my one store can earn as much as Dylan's 11 store lah, but that's a bit hard lah. So of course we also go into different sort of business. E-commerce, B2C is one of them. So for me, I believe in quality over quantity. So I like to target the premium segment. Mass market, it's difficult, it's challenging. What Dylan is doing is mass market, so that's like, it takes balls to play in those kind of field. It's like very high competition, right? So we are exclusive for our brand, so in that sense, less competition. And then recently we also started a B2B business export actually. So we are exporting F&B products to overseas. That's a new venture we just started. We took up on the e-commerce wave, I would say, because like during MCO, a lot of things cannot happen. So people also started moving a lot online, right? Like everything they buy online. Now, like even CMCO, you want to go out, so mafan. You go to 1U, you want to go in a shop, you have to scan. Go in another shop, you have to scan. So mafan. So people are like, you know, no point I go out and shop. And even for clothes, you can't try. For shoes, you can't try. So what for going out anymore? Now you just like, oh, just buy online, right? And it's like, it's safer as well. And because like this MCO, or this, like, you know, this whole phenomena, which is good and bad, good for certain industries, bad for some. There are always winners and losers depending on how you take advantage of it. You know, sorry to say that. But in e-commerce, I think most would come out on top. And you know, it accelerates the growth. You know, e-commerce industry today, you see, like, you ask anyone selling on Lazada, Shopee, in the last few months, the sales were over the roof, especially in certain industry. You look at Dylan now, also smiling. Ask him how many fans he sells. See? So the last time I heard he's got 11 stores. Now he got 7. Now he got 11. So he's secretly building more stores as well, like hoping to capture all the target market, you know, that people are buying or whatever. But yeah, to me, it's just I see that it's very, very scalable. It's open 24/7, doesn't close, 365.
Just one thing, just one question for you, coming. Noisy. Yeah. So just one questions for you, coming, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that is watching this live now, you know, they want to go into full time on e-commerce, you know, but they just somehow cannot break through that, because they feel so unsafe. You know, because you have to quit your job, you know, and then eventually to something that is not really that is guaranteed that you're going to earn money. So what sort of mindsets that you can share, you know, to this kind of people, so that they will be like much more braver, you know, have more balls to do what they want to do. Yeah, what they want to do actually. Yeah.
Well, firstly, I think everyone's risk appetite's a bit different, and really, like, okay, for me and Dylan, we're a bit different in the sense that Dylan like went all in. He quit, whatever he needed to quit, and he went straight in. It wasn't even a job. He didn't even have a job. He went straight. This is probably his first job, his business as a boss. I think for me as well, I quit because for me that was a plan. I knew what I wanted to do. I gave myself a timeline 3 years, and I just stayed longer, but it's fine. For other people, e-commerce doesn't mean that you have to quit your job. You can still have the safety of your job because you work 9 to 5, and you can always do it part time on weekends or whatnot. Take the time to build up your store. Learn about it. And there's tons of information online. Even many people have done it before. So I think really you don't. To answer your question, you don't have to quit your job to do it until, let's say, maybe one day you feel that, hey, my e-commerce store has super potential, or it's like matching my salary. Maybe let's say for a person, this guy's earning like 5,000 a month, right? And then his e-commerce store is contributing that much as well in sales or in profits. So then for this guy's like, it's up to him. Can I now quit my job to focus full time, or should I juggle two at the same time? So I think it's how they manage the time. To me, it's no right or wrong. It's just how they want to do it. And if you look at starting business, right, to start a business on e-commerce is almost like zero funds. If you start a physical store, a lot of people like to start like maybe F&B or bubble tea. You need to go and rent a shop, and then you need to sign contract for at least 12 months or 1.5 years. You need to pay staff costs, you need to pay rental, you need to pay electricity bill, utility bills, and also your franchise fees. That's like, you add all up, easily like 6 figures. But you start an e-commerce store on Lazada, Shopee. What do you have to spend other than time and learning about it? Maybe for Shopee, you can start immediately. For Lazada, you need SSM. Every seller on Lazada, you need SSM. So SSM, if you register like PLT, private limited partnership, or sorry, LLP, limited liability partnership, it's like 500 ringgit if you do it yourself. Or if you get an expert to do it for you, maybe you pay like 1,000, 1,500. And that's your startup cost. And your other startup cost is maybe products or services. But you can be a dropshipper to begin with. So you can say, hey, for example, hey, Dylan, I'm going to list your product on my store. So like, when someone buys it from me, then I take it from you. That way, you don't have to keep any stock. But of course, that's, how most people can start. But for me, I didn't want to start it as a dropshipper. I wanted to have physical products. So it's just many ways of doing it. Yeah.
And then Dylan, do you have any question first? Do you have any question for comment?
How many stores do you want in the next year?
Okay, so for me, it's a bit unique, right? I have my own store. We are focusing on growing that. We are also building stores for other people. Because we somehow, this was I'd say by chance, because we didn't really like go into that space. But people, when they came into our store and they knew what we were doing, they like what we do. They like how we execute it. So they say, hey guys, can you build a store for us? So we're actually building a store for somebody right now. It's almost at a 80-90% stage, and we're quite happy with the results. So this is an additional portfolio that we didn't know could happen.
What is the price though?
We charge super cheap. I think we charge like 1,500 a month. And we felt that it was too low, so we're gonna charge more the next one. But for us, it's okay, because we also look at, we wanted to learn, right? So if it gives us a bit of learning, it's fine. We don't mind, like, for the first time, even if we don't really earn, we break even, it's good enough. So that's one. So going back to Dylan's question, I don't want to beat you with 11 stores.
Just 12 enough. Just 12
yeah. That's why I'm still like, he's 3 years older than me, so I still got many years to go to catch up. But I do want to focus on the export market, because I feel in Malaysia, you're playing with 30 million people. I want to play in a big pond, so I want to go like do exports, because if you're looking at exports, you're easily looking at like 6-7 billion people in the world. So I'm moving towards that space. So for me, it's also very exciting, because I don't know what to expect. It's like you you come from a jago kampung, like, oh, very good in Malaysia, but just Malaysia only, right? Then now you go out to the world and you compare yourself and you see where do you stand? Are you like still good enough, or are you very far behind? But that excites me because in Malaysia, it's like you see Dylan, you ask him, he open store, he like sian already. It's like for him so easy. It's like just flick finger like that, right? Open new store, open new store, open new store. Switching level of difficulty and different difficulty lah. We want to try something different, so we want to focus on something big. And export market for me, I feel is always very big. So definitely keen to see where that's going. So Dylan, to answer your question, only another store export.
Do you want to export my fan? I'm ready for you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I don't see a limitation in that. Like, I like to also support the Malaysian industry. For some people, when they do export, they maybe take products from non-Malaysian products from China or from Thailand or whatever. But for me, if I have a vision and what I wanted to do, I want to put Malaysia on the map. So basically, like, export our product, something that's made in Malaysia, designed in Malaysia, to support the industry. Because I think our manufacturing capability is not bad. We have pretty good products as well, So yeah, so Malaysian made stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty sure that you will face some like problem, and also mistake along the journey. So what are some of the mistakes that you wish that you know and you wish that to avoid?
Actually, I don't know what I don't know, so that's tough. But what I wish is that I would make all the mistakes that I can, like now, like the sooner the better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because I feel that people learn from making mistakes. I personally am a big fan of making mistakes because I learn so much from making mistakes. When it hurts and it's so freaking painful, right? You feel like, damn, I'm never going to make this mistake again, right? And like they say, experience is the greatest teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you experience it, you experience the pain, like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So I don't know. Going back to the question, I don't know what mistakes I don't want to make, but I know that I want to make more, like right now, because if you make it now, you don't fall so hard. It's not so painful. Just imagine, like, when you make a mistake. Like for me, I got one store. I make a mistake. It's fine. I only got one store. If Dylan make a mistake, he's got 11 store.
Yeah.
So it's like multiply times 11 times. So yeah. So it's different lah. Different people, different lah. For me, I prefer making mistakes now. But what I also like doing is I like the idea of being mentored by someone that you respect, because some mistakes you don't need to make. You can just learn from people, and with the right guidance and right sort of coaching, you don't necessarily have to make some mistakes, because you don't have all the time in the world to make all the mistakes. You make some that's worth making, then the rest you just learn lah. Like, let's say for Shopee, I don't want to make mistakes anymore. If I want to know something, I ask Dylan, hey Dylan, how to do this, how to do that. He's probably done it before. So likewise for Dylan, if he wants to know anything about Lazada, he's going to ask me, because he's a lot stronger in Shopee. I'm a lot stronger in Lazada. So it's also nice that you have friends of different strength, and then you can collaborate very well together, because you don't need to be strong in everything. You just need to, and you cannot be strong in everything also. You need to recognize where you're good at and what you're not, and people need to acknowledge that.
I agree with you. Very good.
Yeah. So for the next questions, okay. If someone that wants to start a e-commerce, today. So Lazada or Shopee?
I'll say it depends on the person. To me, I look at Lazada and Shopee as like different mall. Like, just like if you say you want to start a bubble tea business, would you choose Pavilion? Would you choose Mid Valley? Would you choose One Utama? Would you choose Pyramid?
Pasar Malam.
Yeah, or Pasar Malam. So it's very subjective. It depends on the person's appetite. So I'll say, what's your budget? If you want to go low budget, you want to do part time, maybe like what Dylan says, start Pasar Malam. You want to play like medium range or whatever, maybe pyramid or 1U, or you want to play like damn big, you go pavilion or you go airport. So it's very subjective. Whether Shopee or Lazada, it depends. Some people like Shopee more, some people like Lazada more. But I do know that it's easier to operate on Shopee, and that's why you see today there are a lot of sellers on Shopee, and there's also a lot of products on Shopee. You don't need an SSM account.
Competitive lah. Hence it's competitive.
It's very competitive as well. Now I always tease Dylan, Shopee is like Sungai Wang. Anyone also can open store. He knows it.
Yes.
He knows it.
Agree with that.
He don't disagree. But I think Lazada is a bit more premium. It's just my experience, my personal opinion. Lazada is more like maybe like 1U mid-value, I'd say. So the quality of buy is also a lot higher. You will see that the big ticket items also get bought a lot more on Lazada. So to me, really to answer your question, it depends on the person's product. Or they can test both Lazada, Shopee, and then see which one sell better. Then you focus on that. For us, it's natural because our Lazada is way better, so we focus more on Lazada. It's normal.
So does that mean that if we are selling like something that is much more expensive, so Lazada will have a higher chance to make more money than Shopee? Can we do this kind of like
Yeah, don't quote me, but in my personal opinion, I think so. It's just like if you want to buy a branded something, would you go to Sungai Wang or will you go to Pavilion? Even though, like, let's say this store in Sungai Wang is legit lah, it's like real one, but you there or not? Because it's the platform that creates that kind of vibe, right? Or even let's say this Pasar Malam seller really selling real Rolex, doesn't matter where he get it. Would you buy a Rolex from a Pasar Malam? I don't know. So it's I guess it's just the brand awareness or the vibe that it creates, like, sometimes you walk in a store, you feel good, you want to spend. Sometimes I don't know. It's just very subjective. Yeah.
So for Dylan, because you have like store in Shopee and also in Lazada as well, right? Dylan?
Yes.
So what do you think about this, like Lazada or Shopee?
I could say if you're a branded things and you list your product in Lazada more. So actually, if you are holding a brand and you're selling a brand, it's very easy to register in Lazada more. Yeah, so I have few shops that works better in Lazada with the brand only in Lazada more. So it's very subjective, like just what Ming said. In Lazada, you need to be a brand seller. You need to brand yourself. You need to have a strong identity. It means you're a pro player. If you go in with the attitude of upload the products and just leave it self-running, then Lazada cannot run. You really need to put in effort. You need to decorate your shop. But Shopee is another topic. If your price is low, then definitely sooner or later your product will be upstairs. But Lazada, no. They will focus on helping the serious player, I would say, the serious player.
So for Quan, do you spend the amount of effort same on Shopee and Lazada? So for example, like the marketing cost, do you spend like same or even on Lazada or Shopee, or more on Lazada, or
More on Lazada, definitely, because Lazada brings us 5 to 7x Shopee, so it's only natural where 80-20 rule. You put the effort where it counts. So because if you put the same amount of effort on Shopee, you bring back like 1-2x, but if you do it on Lazada, you get like 5 to 7x. So definitely Lazada. And also one thing we noticed was that so I've got this friend, very interesting. He's a seller on both Lazada and Shopee. He sells engine oil, premium engine oil from Germany. So on a normal day, he told me that his Shopee store sells better because of the free shipping. Because Shopee started with the free shipping, and his item is quite heavy, like engine oil, like 4 liters and above. You're looking at 3 to 5.
Big one.
Yeah, big items. So in Lazada, you have to pay for shipping fee. So, and if they see the same store, they will go to Shopee and buy, because Shopee you get free shipping. So he told me on normal day, his Shopee sales is way better. But when it comes to campaign day, like 11/11 or all this kind of campaign day, he say his Lazada one tapao Shopee. He say he also don't know why. So I don't know if it's the same for Dylan, but for me, yeah, it's very clear cut. When it comes to Lazada campaign and Shopee campaign, you can see our Lazada campaign, it really sells a lot, convert a lot. Yeah, spike up. Shopee for us, not so much. So it's again, I don't know if it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's market forces. Yeah, like how you have, you can have a few branch of, let's say, bubble tea, but for some reason you can't explain why Pyramid can do better than Mid Valley, or or the other way around. It's very hard. Your recipe is the same. Everything's the same, but yeah.
So
So I want to share something fun.
Yeah, sure.
So I think last 2 weeks I got a shop in Lazada that is doing more better than Shopee.
Oh,
Three
that's
times
good.
and 4 times better. One of my shop lah. So this is a brand that one of my partner, my good buddy, helped me to manage. So he managed both Shopee and Lazada. And then one day he received a text, very funny. So it's a text from Shopee. She said that I'm who? I don't want to say that is who. I'm XXX from Shopee. I saw your Lazada mall is doing great. Do you want to be Shopee for? Yeah, so I think they also, Shopee is very, I could say, aggressive in marketing.
Yes.
Yeah, super. But Lazada is like chill. They got their audience. Yeah, so these are fun things I want to share. And I think, Quan, your sound you need to be louder.
Okay. Hey!
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean for Shopee, because yeah, my friend told me that as well, because he started in Lazada, and then he's doing quite well, and then Shopee actually called him, and my friend, I don't want, because he's very lazy, to upload the photos, the products onto Shopee. So what Shopee does, Shopee help him to do every single thing. He just copy from Lazada and to Shopee. And then, okay, so this is your login ID. Nope, you just run the store. Yeah, so Shopee is actually doing that.
How many years ago?
Look at Dylan's eyes. He was like, really? How come I didn't get there?
How many years ago? I think that one should be when
I
they
think
started, right?
when it just started lah.
Yeah,
They
if
are,
now
they
you
are
ask
very
them to
aggressive.
do,
It's crazy. He just call my friends. Okay, my friend very lazy, I don't want lah. Then he copy and paste the whole shop Lazada to Shopee. Yeah, then this is your login. Yeah, just run the business. Yeah, so yeah, Shopee is very, very super aggressive actually. Okay, one question for you, Ming. Like except you do your ads on Shopee or your Lazada, what else do you do to generate traffic to your store or to make more sales?
Secret lah. If I tell you, then Dylan know lah. No lah. Actually, what we do is that because our product actually not so straightforward. If let's say you want to make a comparison with Dylan's fan, his one you buy, it's quite straightforward. Ours need a bit of tutorial and instruction, and even with a lot of tutorial help videos, sometimes our customer still not very sure. It's normal. So what we do is we are not so aggressive on marketing it. What we do is a lot of educational videos. We do tutorial videos of like how to use the product, like how to jumpstart the car using our products. And actually, surprisingly, a lot of ladies actually buy our products because they're the one that feel worried. Yeah, it's very easy to use. It's actually once you know how to use it, it's simpler. There's less steps than pumping your own car petrol. Last time, like they got tell you, oh, angkat tolak masuk picit, all these things.
Yeah.
Ours is less than that. Now you got to put in a credit card, press in your PIN. So ours is less than that. But anyway, what we do is that, so we have these videos, we produce it in-house, and we produce it based on the FAQs. So let's say like we get a lot of customers asking us this question. So we have a list of FAQs that we track, and we design the video or the tutorial to suit this. And then we will make sure that it's like short enough, maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. We put it on Facebook, on YouTube, and we actually use Facebook advertisement. So we're pretty all right with that. So with Facebook advertisement or Facebook advertising, we're able to target the right consumers based on location, age group, what they like and what they don't like. So we do that a lot. and we realized that it brings a lot of value back. So Dylan, I know he does this as well, but he does it on Shopee platform. So it's kind of like similar in concept, but we do it on Facebook because I tried doing it on Shopee, but the result doesn't generate it as well. So it's again like how much bang for a buck that you get. And I shared this results with Dylan as well. It's like, oh, your conversion is a bit odd. So that's why we stuck to Facebook because the conversion and the viewership is crazy. Take for example during MCO time, because you're also very good lah. No, not a lot of companies are working right? So they don't spend money on Facebook like all this Nestle, P&G, no one working. So we thought, hey, good time now, So we spend like I think 30 USD. We got like almost 30,000 true plays on our video. True plays means the video actually 500,000 people, but 30,000 people actually watch until finish.
Only 30 USD, or it's like 100,000.
30 USD. Yeah, so you divide 30 USD divide by 30,000, right? It's like 0.001, not even 1 US cent per true play.
What is the conversion rate about?
Conversion rate out at 30,000, it was like 10% ish, close to
3K lah. 3K. It's very good, but I mean the money that you spend is like, and the conversion is so damn high.
Yeah, so because we track this data as well. So when we look at our store, like people were offloading in, but the bad thing was that we didn't have enough stuff to sell. So that was really, really bad.
Yeah, because you say that you already out of stock for 2 months.
Yes.
Then how are you going to deal with that
makan pasir loh. Makan kuih, makan nasi lemak kosong every day, no chicken, just got like sambal and ask them to cut the ikan bilis, ask bos kacang lebih sikit, telur lebih sikit, just banjir with kuah and then nasi lebih. So survive with that lah. But
2 months is crazy, man.
I mean, in all seriousness, it was good because remember earlier, like I mentioned that people started to hire us to build a store for them. So that was one additional revenue of income. Then it was also very lucky. We got interviewed with Alibaba and Lazada. So this was a 4-way session. 2 of them were staff, one representing Lazada, one representing Alibaba, and then 2 were their top sellers. So one from Alibaba and the one representing Lazada was me. So that was a good session because it allows me to also understand the different sort of market, which what I mentioned earlier was B2B, and that's why I felt that why am I playing in this Lazada when I can reach out to the world. So that's why we went out to that. So it also made us like sit back and think what are the other kind of businesses that we can do. So it's open 2 additional portfolio. Other than managing our own store, we now can build a store for people, and we can also build a B2B platform.
So I mean, a lot of people that is watching this live now, I mean, I appreciate that a lot of them are dropshipping. So do you have any advice or any suggestion on in terms of the products that they need to sell now?
I think for me, okay, I prefer to do something that like I have exclusive. So like I would maybe travel to trade fairs or source from wherever and do a product that if I can I'm like exclusive for Malaysia, because then it's firstly you're not just selling a product, you're building a brand. It also gives you a bit of a safety net. Like for example, people can't kind of fight complete price with you because you're the only one in Malaysia that can sell this. So I like things like that. Whereas if you like drop shipping style, then that's more closer towards Dylan's area of expertise. He works with a lot of brands, and most of his brands he's competing in the market openly, right? So it means like more than 1 people can actually sell this brand. So maybe this question is probably a better channel to him instead.
Yeah, but recently I found out one tactic. I mean not one techie lah. There's three kind of seller. The normal seller lah, I don't want to say newbie or anything lah. They sell every category in the store. Okay, so they need to deal with all the price war, everything lah. And then the second seller, they sell one category in the store. Let's say they sell electrical appliances, they sell pets category, they sell baby products, one category. And another seller is that I'm focusing in. We focus on only one brand, and this really works well. Especially for people who are looking forward to sell in Lazada, make sure you register as a Lazada Mall brand, because it's actually quite easy to get a Lazada Mall compared to Shopee. Shopee is langsung it's very hard lah to say to get a Shopee Mall, but Lazada Mall, as long as you are authorized by a brand owner or manufacturer, you get a letter from them, you submit within 1 to 2 days, you get the Lazada Mall. Yeah, so sell one brand in the store, and that's my direction now. That's my direction. So I don't need to I don't need to join in any price war. I'm immune to it. If people throw price, my sales is still better for them.
Yeah. So okay. So just wondering, like, what do you think about stockists? You know, because a lot of people, they're scared that they have to like. Yeah, they have to like spend like couple of thousand, you know, to buy to be a sole distributor, you know, or to become a stockist, and you know they cannot sell. You know, then end of the day they cannot sell, and then you know they are just afraid of this uncertainty. So is there any advice for them? I mean, I'm pretty sure that as being a stockist, you know, you will get to have better control on the price, the shipping, and a lot of things as well that dropshipper will not have that kind of control. You know, but people are just too scared, you know, to go over to the other side, become a stockist. Yeah. So any things that you can give advice to this kind of people?
I'll be very, very frank, because that's my style. I think they're afraid, then they should stay employed, not do business. Business is not for the faint-hearted. It's for people that's willing to take risks. And if not willing to take risks, to be very frank, it's just like investment, right? There's high risk investment, low risk investment. So what works for them? You know, if they are willing to take less risk, then I don't know. It's hard because to me, what I feel e-commerce today, if you don't catch on the bandwagon today, like you don't start now, it's going to be more difficult 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, because stronger sellers are going to become even bigger. Competition's coming in. So it's like, just think of like today, if you're thinking, if I want to list my product in 1U or in the mall, if I don't start now, 1U eventually is going to be filled with stores, and you know, it's going to be more difficult to get in, more competition eventually, so much so that they don't even have space to rent, that they open those little stores in the middle of the walkway, and it's also quite a lot of money, you know, to rent those little carts to just sell your product. So yeah, risk thing is very subjective, because some people, they just don't have the risk, they don't want to take the risk. So yeah, I would say you just got to try, and you just got to put aside, like what I did was I put aside like some money, like maybe you can, you know, whatever the person is comfortable with. For example, 5K, 10K, you know, if they're willing to burn this money, if they made it, they made it. If they not, they just burn 5K and they learn a very strong lesson, right? So you have to try it. It's like, you want to count lah. You cannot wait for the girl come and take you out to dinner. It's like, hey, invite you, hey, Dylan, come, let's go for dinner. You can't wait the girl.
Yeah, actually, I very agree with what Quan Ming said. And it's very hard for me to say out the word lah. It's like telling people, if you want to do business, definitely you need to have a great boss. Yeah, but that's the answer. That's the answer. You have great boss, basically.
And yeah, I mean, if you only have like 3 advice, you know, to this kind of like new entrepreneurs or those people that want to venture in the business, what would that be? The three advices.
Okay, I'd say the first one is try, because if you don't try, you don't know, right? You will forever don't know. It's just like people, they don't dare to ask the question. But if you don't ask, how would you know the answer? So to me, it's try first. The second one is make the mistake now, because if you make the mistake at 18, you still got like what, 40 plus years, 50 plus years to correct it. But you made a mistake at 50, oh my god, I don't know how you're going to recover from that. I mean, I'm not saying you can't, you can. So I see Dylan, he start business at 21. If I turn back time, yeah, maybe I want to start business at 12 years old again, because I see he starts so early. So I also a bit jealous. But it's okay, because we pick a different path, we learn a different thing. So we have different growth in our area, and today is different from 10 years ago. It's very different. If I wanted to start e-commerce 10 years ago, cannot, because no Lazada, no Shopee, right? So you have to wait for the right time. So Dylan was born in the right century. So that's the second one. So first one, it's try. Second one is make mistakes. The third one, it's believe in yourself. Because if you don't, when you want to start something, even for Dylan, I'm sure a lot of his friends will say, "Oh, bro, you sure?" A lot of city chatter left, right. Like your devil.
They all tell me go study.
Exactly.
Say, so, go out, study.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know, and only was until recently I revealed. When I quit my job, you asked me earlier, right? My mom was shocked and she almost cried. She's like, "Why you quit your job? Are you crazy? You're in oil and gas. You're working for Shell, blah 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 blah. You quit your job." So yeah, but my dad understood why I wanted to do it, and he knew my plans. And when I quit my job, it's not like I started my business straight away. I went on holiday for 2 years. Right, I was just chilling and farming for 2 years. So my mom's like every day seeing me like, "What's this dude doing?" Like, wow, no need to do anything, just like chilling or whatever. So, but yeah, I think firstly you have to believe in yourself. And can you imagine, like I was just, if to put it very crudely, I was bumming for 2 years. But not really. I was actually attending trade fairs, trade shows in the US, in Europe, all over to actually get a lot of ideas. So there were periods where I was like having a lot of like mental orgasms, when you see so much ideas, you're just like, wow, you can do this, you can do that, blah, 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 whatever. Then there were times where, you had your quiet space to think and chill. But yeah, I think the last answer, which is very important, it's also tied back to a bit of confidence, is you should believe in yourself. Because people always tell you you can or cannot do. But if you look at it really, right, can or cannot, I always tell people it's a measure of a man, right? When people tell me cannot, I will ask the person, is this your own limitation, means your ability, or is it because you don't want to do it? If it's ability, I can forgive, because to be frank, not everyone is up to that. Some people just can't do it, right? But maybe if the person can do it but doesn't want to, then it's very subjective. It's different from, let's say, like if you say like what 10 ml of something, right? Wherever you go in the world, you tell me, hey, Ming, this one 10 ml is the same one, right? You can measure that perfectly fine. But if I tell you today can, tomorrow cannot, there's no benchmark, bro. It's just like what I feel. So it's very, very subjective.
Based on the person's
Feeling. So to me, when I label this as a measure of a person, means like, it's not based on proper measurements. It's not like water or length, where in cm, 10 cm is 10 cm. You go anywhere in the world, it's fixed. So yeah, to me, just give it a go. People will always discourage you. There are people that also encourage you, but find your network of people. If you feel that's very discouraged, find people that you look up to. Network with them, or ask them to guide you if they're willing to guide you. Like you see Dylan at 21 years old, 3 years older than me, is a Shopee coach. Who would have thought, right? Shopee existed how many years ago? Today, if you ask anyone who is a Shopee coach out there, not many people can say I am a Shopee coach, or I can actually. And the best part about being a Shopee coach is that these actually teach you how to do business. Like, if I knew of this, and in my generation, if I'm like studying in uni and this existed, I've also quit my degree as like, fuck that shit, I'll go learn how to do business, instead. Because frankly speaking, how many people that, went through a degree and actually 3 years, 5 years, whatever, and actually use what they studied in a degree to do their business or to work? For me, a degree was necessary because I wanted to work, and to me, I see a degree as just a passport to get a job. That's it. But if you don't want to work for people, Look at Dylan. He doesn't. Does he need one? No. He's
I
got his
work
own
for
degree, Shopee coach.
Oh,
So to me, that's more valuable because he got 11 stores. How many people can say I got 11 stores?
I'm pretty sure like even someone that is master in business, he might not be able to sell on Shopee or Lazada as well. I mean, he might be good in what he's teaching and theory and stuff like that. Yeah. But when we come to like the real things, he might not be as competitive as you guys. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. Dylan, do you have any things they want to share, like same as Kwame, like the three things, advice that you want to give to people that is watching this live
yeah,
now?
I don't have the three things, but recently what I learned, I attended a webinar and this coach actually taught me that there's two kind of people when they goes into business. First person, they always ready, okay? When they get ready, they want to do business, they get ready, and then they will aim. They will aim, they will see which one is the best time to go in, which one is the best category, best industry to go in. They will aim first. And then when they want to shoot, they will say, okay, wait, aim again first. So they continue aim, and they aim,
Break.
and okay, one, two, hey, wait. So the second kind of person, they are ready, and then they just shoot. They don't care already. They shoot, okay, miss, and then the next time they shoot, the more shoot they take, the more attempt they take, they are closer to the target. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
for business, you need to be the person that you are ready.
Keep
You just
shooting.
you just shoot because there's no rules to say that you got only 10 chance. It's like you playing basketball. There's no rules that saying you got only 10 chance, you cannot miss that. But in the business world, there's no rules. You can miss hundreds, you can miss millions and billions of chances. Yeah, but don't do that lah. If you try 10 times, then you feel then it's very hard to pick up already. So yeah, so that's the idea. That's the first thing that I want to say. You ready, you just shoot first, and then you aim. Yeah, and then secondly, everything that we do now, we need to have an exit plan. No matter
Mm.
it's a business, no matter you are working. If the things that you are doing cannot give you any idea of what is exit plan, then better don't do lah. Imagine I do business and the exit plan for this business is no exit plan. I cannot exit man. Once I jump in, I need to do it until I die. So I would rather don't choose to do it. So the first thing is you ready, you shoot and you aim. And the second thing is always think of the exit plan. Even you are working, you need to think, okay, after I 65 years old, then I retire. Yeah, this is an exit plan. But is it the thing that you want to retire at the age of 65? So this is what we need to think lah.
Okay. For now, if you guys have any question, you just post it on the comment. If you have anything that you want to ask Kwame or you want to ask Dylan, just post all your questions on the comment box. And yeah, we will do our very best to answer all the questions. Okay. And for now, let's have Kwame to choose one winner first. One winner for the toothbrush. So you can just do you get to see like on the right hand side here, you've got a lot of comment
Right.
commenting. Yeah,
Didn't
you
really
just
see it. Let me have a look. Okay.
yeah, on the right side, on the right. So you have from YouTube, from FB, yeah, people say hello as well. Yeah. So from there, just choose someone. Yeah, someone.
I choose Ngam Feel Ko.
Ngam Feel Ko. Where is Ngam Feel Ko? Can you click on the name?
I can click, but I don't know if you can see or not.
I saw. You see, we saw Alexander Yap here.
There's he made a comment at 9:05.
9:05. 9:05. Oh, yeah, this one right. BMW cat.
Yes.
Yay! Hello, Ngam Feel Ko. Are you there? Well, your name is very steady. I'm pretty sure like Ngam Feel Ko, he is selling cars, I think.
He's selling BMW, I think. Yeah, he's selling
Yeah,
BMW.
Yeah. Hi, Ngam Fuko, are you still there? Can you see us also? Hi, Ngam Fuko. It's okay. I will just PM him later on. So let's go on the floor now. Let's answer some of the questions. So oh yeah, what is Style C online store? What is that though? You guys have any idea? Good. Style C online store. You guys know? Dylan, Quan.
Hello. Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Style C online store. Anyone have any
Style C.
ideas?
Oh yeah. What? Oh, Style C online store. The toothbrush.
Oh.
You forget it's your friend. Hey, by the way, the restaurant is closing. I need to chow first. You guys continue, can?
Okay.
Later the Wi-Fi suddenly shut down. Hey, this
Okay.
is your friend. You forget, walao.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, bye.
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 See you.
Have fun.
Okay. Yeah. Bye. So sorry, I don't know. Wait, why is Style C? Okay. Okay, so Style C online store is selling this type of toothbrush. Wait, mana. Yeah. So it's like super soft toothbrush. So they are actually sponsor on this live, and they are actually looking for stockists as well. I mean, they just started their business. It's a very good friend of mine. So you can check them out on style.c as well on Facebook. So I mean, as Kwaming says, we always want to help the local entrepreneurs, to be much more successful as well. So I like a lot of your thoughts, Kwaming. Very insightful. Okay, this one. Because this user is from another Facebook page or group, so we did not get to see the name. So his question or her question would be how to increase sales when orders are low. What steps to take? So do you have any advice on this?
Okay, because firstly, I do not know what this seller is selling, so it's a bit difficult to share. But I'll share from my perspective what I'll do. If our sales is low, what I normally do is I'm quite a data-driven person, so I will go and see in my Lazada and Shopee, is it because people are not searching for my products, or is it because people are searching for my products but they're not converting? So it could be the price, it could be wrong product offering, many different reasons. So the first thing I'll do is understand why this happened, and then from there I would try to create a solution for that.
So the answer will be you have to know what sort of things that you what sort of problems that your shop is actually facing first.
Yes.
Then only
Yes.
from there, you will create a solutions.
Yes, because otherwise, if you're just applying, let's say, a blanket approach, like let's say, oh, every time sales low, then you blast FB or you just blast adverts, but maybe that's not helping because while you are blasting FB and then you're blasting like your keywords, you're getting a lot of visits, but somehow it's not converting. So something must be wrong somewhere. Either maybe your the price is too high, or maybe the product warranty is not there, or maybe like let's say it's an older model, people are looking for the newer model and whatnot. So there could be a lot of factors. So really, to me, it's like the real way to diagnose it is to really know the root cause, like why is it causing low sales.
Like, okay, so for example, if your stores are is not making as much sales as expected for next month, so what is the first thing that you are going to look into first?
I'll go and deep dive into this thing. In Lazada, there's this thing called a business advisor. So it's basically like when you click onto that, you can see like all the data, like what do people search, how many people visit your store, how many people are actually clicking on what, things like that. So what I'll do is I'll look into that first, and then I'll compare against historical data that I have from either maybe the month before, the week before, or the last year in the same month, and then see, is this a normal trend? Because a lot of things are like trends, right? Like you see MCO period, who knows the trend go up or go down? Like some businesses, they really sell like crazy, but for some businesses, they don't sell because maybe during MCO period, people don't look for that, right? Now, let's say, for example, like car tires, during MCO, who's going to buy car tires, right? Because no one traveling, no one use, right? Not? But then and that's also a car industry, is a motor category. But then batteries sell a lot, car batteries sell a lot. Why people buy so many battery? Because
right?
all the battery gong, right? So it's very subjective. And then let's say if you are the car tire seller, then you go and like try to crack your head and study like why cannot sell tires. So, but because MCO is so obvious, then because nobody can go out, less people go out, so people don't sell buy tires. So in that case, the example is very clear cut. So it's actually important to understand why. And sometimes it's not their fault because it's just the weight is no choice. No one is buying because no one needs it. So you just gotta wait until like maybe CMCO, people start to go out. Then maybe they started to sell more tires because during MCO period, no one look after their tire. It's like leave there too long, maybe flat already, or they drive underinflated, then easy to spoil, things like that, a lot of reasons. So it's really dependent on the product, the seller, many factors.
So I mean, if this Facebook user, if you want us to give you a better answer, so if you can specifically
Yes.
tell us like what sort of problems exactly, is it because of price, or the trends or whatever is it, then we might be able to give you a better answer. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, this one. So we're look at this. It's quite interesting, this one. As a seller, how to compete with other sellers in the same categories. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are others brand, right, that sell the same stuff as you, right, Ming?
No, for me, not really. So a bit in a unique position. So we deal for the brand that I'm carrying. We're actually exclusive for Malaysia and Southeast Asia, for the jump starter and whatnot. So we are a bit unique in that sense. So let's say how to compete with other sellers. For me, okay, to answer that, I differentiate my product. So I bring in something that other people don't have. So it's only us. I think this question would be better answered by someone like Dylan because he competes in the mass market. But really, to me, because I made a conscious choice. Like let's say Dylan earlier mentioned there's a few kind of people. One like just shoot aimlessly, one aim ready, never shoot. So in this category also there are sellers that they like to play mass market. Means like they see, wow, people do goreng pisang, I also want to do goreng pisang. Then like how you go to a certain place like SS2, you see all durian stores, right? Like already so many durian stores, people still open durian stores. So sometimes it's good and bad. Like if you cluster together, then maybe you get some sales because people know, oh, this is like a SS2 is like a durian area, people come, right? On the online space, I don't know how that works. But maybe you sell something popular lah. So like let's say you sell a Penang power bank. It's very popular, like Penang brand. So then when people search Penang power bank, then they can find you. So you hope to hit or get some of the sales, right? And hopefully when they come to your store, you can upsell them on something, right? So some sellers do that. But to me, as a conscious choice, I did not want to play in a category where it's like mass market. So yeah, I can't really say how to compete in the same category for the same product because I compete in the same category with a different product, and that's why we come out on top.
How do you look for this products actually?
So actually, remember I told you I was like farming for 2 years.
Yes.
So I actually went to trade fairs like CS in Las Vegas, walked there for 2-3 days, talked to so many people, see so many products. Then I went to this event called IFA in Berlin, IFA. You can Google that up, IFA Berlin. It's also one of the largest consumer white goods trade fair in the world, where there's about, I think, 30 plus halls. The halls are as big as like your KL Convention Center halls, 30, 40 of those. Yeah, very big. And you can actually walk like few days. I walked in that fair for 3 days. every day from I think 10 to 5. I think they close at 5. I only stop for like a quick toilet break and just a quick sandwich. That's it, and I continue walking because I was kiasu. I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to see everything, and there's so much things to see. Even I walked 3 days, I couldn't see everything, couldn't see finish. So those are one ways to actually source for products. And most people actually they go to Canton Fair in China. This is a fair that personally I've not been, but this year they actually have it twice a year. One in April, if I'm not mistaken. Another one it's in October. So I actually plan to go for the October one, and I hope by then all this travel ban would have been lifted, and they will actually organize the fair. So Canton Fair, it's where a lot of factories or a lot of B2B business will showcase their products, and this is a place to actually hunt for good products. So I started with doing somebody's brand, like basically just bringing the brand that's really very strong in the US. So basically our power banks, BT brand, right? They are the number one in the United States, and at any one time, any of the products are always top 3. So I brought in a proven product that was from overseas. So that's one way to also source. I found them on Amazon. Another way is that you can also do like OEM or ODM. Like if you're very confident like this product sells, some product you can create a brand and then you brand it. So these people that are like strong in sales and branding and marketing, maybe their background was a branding person, they can definitely do this. So I'm also experimenting on doing something that's like my own brand, right? And hopefully that would take off. But yeah, so there's so many things that you can do. So doing one B2B and one more trying to brand something. So yeah, hopefully hopefully in the next few weeks we are able to launch that.
What products that you might like? What sort of category lah? Category.
Yeah, it's a beauty product, cosmetics. Yeah, cosmetics.
Okay, let's go to the next one, Chester. So how many Lazada store you have and how many employees help you to manage the store? What are the role of the employees' tasks?
After I answer this, right, then a lot of people will get shocked and things like, wow, I can do Lazada. I have one Lazada store. I manage one Lazada store and I'm building one store for my client, right? Which we also manage. So technically depends on how you see it. It's either 1+1 or just 1. How many employees do I have to manage a store? Only 2.
You and your partner?
Yes, me and my business partner. We actually outsource a lot of our things, so that allow us to focus on the core of the business. So like in e-commerce, one of the biggest ticket item that takes up the most time, as well as resources, is actually pack and pick and logistics. And for that, I know that Dylan does it himself, but what I do is I outsource all of it. So I use Fulfilled by Lazada, which is the Lazada one. And for Shopee, I also outsource it to a third party. So they pack and pick all our products, and we just basically focus on doing what we do well. So that's why we are allowed to stay lean. And I can say I'm quite lucky with this because in my many years as a project manager, we outsource a lot of things, right? We buy a lot of services. My boss will give me like a budget, like, X amount of whatever. And let's say I need to build a car, right? So obviously I can't build a car from scratch. So maybe like, let's say example, just for discussion's sake, right? Let's say you say, hey bro, I'm gonna throw you 20 million. This is a project. I need you to build me 3 cars. So when I got 20 million, what I'll do? I can't build a car from scratch. I'm no expert. So maybe I go to BMW and say, hey, I want you to do a special project for me. I'm going to commission you to build a one-off car for me. It can be based off a 3 series or 5 series, but at least these are the experts, right? And then I say, okay, you change the light a bit, or you change this, change that towards my specification, or can you, with a 20 million, maybe, spend 1 million and create a color just for me, for unique to our car, identity, things like that. So from there, I learned a lot how to outsource and how to choose the right partners for the right business. And of course, if Toyota doesn't want, if BMW doesn't want to do it, you can go to Mercedes, you can go to Toyota, you can even go to Proton or ProDual. Somebody will do it for you with 20 million ringgit to build 3 cars. Come on, or you can go to a private builder even, to build a car for you. So, and that's how you're able to do something that is so good. Because why? You're not building from scratch. Can you imagine that BMW build your car for you? How good would it be, right? It will be quite good, So when we outsource, what we did, the first thing is we strategized and we found like, okay, we did our research. Who's the best in the industry? What do they do? So we always outsource if we can to the best in the industry so that we get like top-notch quality. So yeah.
This question from Steven. So, I mean, do you sell in Shopee also? You mentioned Lazada sellers are more premium sellers compared to Shopee. Any other reason you choose Lazada over Shopee?
Yes, I do have
sorry. Yeah,
a
go ahead.
store. Sorry. I had a store on Shopee as well. I sell on both Lazada and Shopee. I wouldn't say that, I'm not sure if it's like premium is to say, but what I've noticed based on data is that the more premium items sell on Lazada better than Shopee. It could be because of the protection or, the ease of returning the items or claiming for, making a claim and whatnot. So yeah, for those reasons, I chose Lazada. I don't choose Lazada over Shopee. I have both, just that my Lazada store does way better than my Shopee store. Yeah.
So the next question would be, what prompted you to start selling your own stuff instead of dropshipping? Yeah.
I think if you drop ship, you always have to follow like what the person brings in or what the person has, right? So it's just not my style. I wanted to do something that, to create something that a bit more exclusive, right? So that we have full control on how we decided to brand, how we decided to market it. For me, I see Lazada, Shopee as more of building a brand than just like selling things. So that's why I chose to build a brand and work with the partners. In our brand, we are quite unique position because we're actually factory backed, meaning to say, the brand that we sell, we take it directly from the factory and we got full support from the principal for this region. So lucky in that sense. But yeah, own stuff versus drop shipping, I just a personal choice.
So okay, just my questions.
Yeah.
If you get to choose like one more categories or one more products to sell now, what would that be?
The beauty one. So I'm going to start a cosmetic.
So that
Yeah.
is the next thing.
Yes, because why? People always want to look good. So to me, that's also something that, yeah.
And for this, can we further connect? Would like to speak here about your products. Is your business open to this type of like opportunities? I should say, yeah.
Yes, for sure. We're always looking for partners to work abroad. In fact, it was funny. So just right before MCO happened, we had an agent in Indonesia wanting to deal with our products, and also one in Singapore, coincidentally. So we stopped because we were supposed to travel and meet each other, but that didn't happen. So we basically put a stop onto that. But we are always happy to match. And for us, we also be selective because once we make a selection, this agent or this vendor would have full support from direct principal as well, which means that we're not planning to give like 10 agents, for example, just like one distributor, and they will look after the entire country. So the right fit is very important, because if let's say you have like 10 agents or like a lot, then they will also compete. And when they compete, there's no winners in that, because everyone will try to throw price, and then you actually kill the product. So again, going back to that, it's like that's why I mentioned earlier, we are building brands, not just trading. If someone wants to trade just any other product, then they can just bring in like something that's really in the market and just sell it anyway. So for us, our brand is unique because they give full exclusivity.
Yeah, I just want to add up on this. I appreciate that a lot of people, they went into this e-commerce. Their purpose is more on the trading side instead of the branding side. I mean that what you are doing, and that's why they will face a lot of problem, especially on the price war kind of thing, because they're just doing trading and not focusing on building a unique brand.
Adding value as well, no value add.
So that, I mean, that is a very, very good point as well, because okay, just this thing here, drop shipping. Yeah, Facebook is a drop shipping don't guarantee that the product is in good quality, right? Is it right or wrong?
I think it depends on who you're drop shipping from. So if you're, let's say, drop shipping from a very strong seller that has good track record, chances are you can get quite good service. The quality of the product depends, right? Because if you're buying like something that's like 5 ringgit versus something in the same category that's 10 ringgit, so you can't guarantee product, but you can guarantee service. Does that make sense? Because to me, I see quality and service is two different things. Right, quality, it depends on what you pick to drop ship. If you pick quality product, then your product will be quality lah. But if the service of the seller is rubbish, then you get shitty service lor.
Not responding on your questions and stuff like
Correct. So it's to me it's this question, it's double tiered. So it's quality and service, two different. There's two things here. Yeah.
Things. And then okay, just back to this Enric questions. So do you have like Facebook page or any? I mean, how does Enric Tan can connect with you if you are open for this? Do you have an email address or how?
They can actually reach out to our Facebook page. So it's here. Oh, my bunch. Sorry, wrong side. AutoBug. You can find us on Facebook or Lazada or Shopee as well. So if they search AutoBug, if you
AutoBug Club.
AutoBug Club, yeah.
Let's check the next one. So the next question, drop shipping also means you leave your business future on the supplier hands. If supplier is slow or lazy, then you need to come up with an answer for your buyers.
Yeah, so I think maybe earlier someone or asked about why not drop shipping over this. Then you see, this is a very cool answer, because you see when you do drop shipping, right? It's like, sorry if I say this, it's like your balls is being grabbed by the other person. It's how squeeze or how like they how tight they want to squeeze it, right? So you basically really have no control or no say over like the price, or let's say you sell it at the price. Let's say this dropshipper put 80 ringgit, then you sell, let's say you're very king lah, you sell like 100 units. Suddenly the price overnight go up to 85. So how? You're gonna buy like 100 pieces at with a deficit of like 5 ringgit, and you're just gonna do like what, rookie business, right? So it's very hard because you have no control. The price can go up, can go down. If the price drop, okay lah, you don't. But if the price go up, it's really hard. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like, or I don't see drop shipping, because drop shipping, again, you're not building a brand, you're just trader, right? To me, business, you always have to think what problem you're solving and what business value are you adding. If you're not solving any problem, you're not adding any business value, then it's not sustainable. That's my personal belief.
Okay, so if you don't have any more question over here, I have a question for you. It's like so for those people that want to start like taking their own stock, what is the recommended minimum money that need to fork out?
Okay, for me personally, I set aside 50,000. I started my business with 50,000.
And that include what sort of cost inside 50K? Just the products alone, or setups, ads?
A to Z setup. So basically, you need to hire people, you need to buy some products, you need to buy some equipment, like I don't know, PC, laptops, all your tools. But I would say like 50,000 is a good enough. I call it a war chest fund, because it's like for me to go to war, to win battles. It's not right or wrong. Some people start with like smaller war chests, right? Maybe like 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000. Again, is very dependent on the product. My product costs anywhere from 200 to 400 over ringgit. So that's why I need a bigger war chest. Yeah, because and that's why also we come. So we are top sellers on Lazada, not because of the volume or number of items that we sell. It's because of the revenue that we generate. Because let's say versus another store, right? This store can sell like maybe like 1,000 items a month, and then maybe they generate like 20,000 or 30,000. because their product value is a lot smaller, maybe it's like 15 ringgit, 20 ringgit. So our items, we sell like, let's say, example lah, if you do like 20 a day, 20 times 4 is already 8K. So if you like 8K times 30, that's like 240,000. So it's like already a 250,000. Yeah. So yeah, it's the ticket, high ticket value item lah. So to me, there's no real number. Some people, what they do also is, if they're smart, they use this thing called other people's money, right? They get investor to invest in them. If you're very good at creating business proposal, you can always, create a business proposal and tell people, hey, this is what I need. I need, 20,000. This one will do. You're gonna get ROI and when, things like that. So of course, then there's also like micro loans from banks. That I think these days for SMEs, there are a lot of like zero installment for like the first year or something like that. So they can start with that and hope that they will hopefully break even quite quickly. So again, all business has risks. To me, I started with 50,000 as a war chest. So yeah, I just felt that.
Sorry, do you mind to share with us like how long does it take for you to break even?
To what? Sorry.
To break even, or to start to come to see the money's coming in, the earning.
We are quite lucky. We broke even in the first half year. So like we started in June. By December we already broke even. So yeah, quite fast.
It's good. It's good because
quite lucky.
Yeah. But another thing is that a lot of people, they're scared of like selling high ticket products, because they're scared like no people is going to buy so expensive. Who want to buy? They will have this kind of things. So what is your thoughts on this?
To me, when we first started this, we actually did a lot of study. We needed to understand the target audience or target market. So we kind of like know, okay, who are our potential buyers, what are their disposable income, whether they're B40, M40 or T20. And then from there, we slowly scale down and try to design the product to suit our needs. So basically, for example, our principal has maybe, let's say, like 10 different models of different price range. We only started to pick like 4 or 5 that we feel that suits our market, right? And then we went with that. And then, so to me, it's a lot of all these things is data driven. You need to understand or know who you're trying to sell to, and whether your product works or not, quality, etc., things like that. Because if people don't understand the target market, then it's very difficult. So they need to build an avatar. What it means by avatar is that, okay, who are the age group of people you're targeting? Where do they live? In PJ area, Damansara, in KL, or throughout Malaysia? Second thing is that, what are their buying habits? Do they buy a lot of car accessories? Do they like to buy cars? Are they willing to spend on the cars? Things like that. And that's how we also use the Facebook, ads to actually target people, because we do understand our target market quite well. And that's why we were actually like, when the key account approached us on Lazada and Shopee, they were quite surprised, because when they first approached us, we had like 5 items, I think. Yeah, only 5 SKUs, and we're hitting like very high 5 figures. So they're like surprised, how come you only got 5 SKUs and you can sell so many? Because most store, they have like a small store is like 30 products. Most store like Dylan one, a few hundred items one, a lot of things. Just like you think about it, like you come into a store, right? You're like Mr. DIY, okay, a lot of things, then you want to buy, right? But let's say if you come into this DIY shop, then you see, got only 1 hammer and 1 nail and a few other things, like 5 items. So hard to sell, right? So then people don't buy. But maybe if that hammer is very special, people will just come to your store to just buy that particular hammer. Then you got a good thing going. And people also must know why this hammer so special. Is it because it will never rust, or is it because it's so light that every time you hit a nail, it's guaranteed that it will bury the nail properly and not bangkokkan the nail, things like that. So you really need to know your USPs, your unique selling points, and your target audience, and then you match these two together.
Thank you. Very good explanations to that. So, Diane, this will be our last question. How much percent is fair to mark up our products for sale?
So for us, what we do is that we actually use our US counterpart as a benchmark because earlier I've mentioned that these products are top sellers in the United States in Amazon.com. So let's say we take this product A, they are selling at 100 USD. We do the conversion direct to ringgit. So you're looking at with current market price rate around plus minus 430 plus minus, that sort of thing. And I always try to be as fair as possible because I don't like to, let's say like if I see this product in the US, right, it's like 100 USD, and then some people, they bring it in here, they sell like 600, right? So to me, that markup is way too high because I can just order it from Amazon and pay shipping fee, and I probably still get it here cheaper. Yes. So I always believe in being fair and transparent. If the person in United States can sell at 100 US dollar and make money, why what's so different for us, right? So to me, a fair markup would depend on your product, but I would say generally, if it's enough to cover your cost, or maybe I don't know, okay lah, I will give a generic answer lah. E-commerce market, I think, depending on your category, my category maybe 20-30%, but that also depends because some item like wipers, right, like car wiper, they sell it for like 8 ringgit, bro. I don't even know what they make. This 8 ringgit wiper is silicone, you know, like silicone wiper for 8 ringgit. I look at that, it's like, wow, I don't know how you do your business, but good lah. Okay, also one more thing I want to share, right, because this question is quite interesting in the sense that some sellers on Shopee or Lazada, they sell for no profit. That's one. The second kind of sellers, which is scary, they sell not only for no profit, they sell under value. So meaning to say, if the wiper costs 8 ringgit, they sell it at $5. So got people do that one.
They don't attract the traffic to your store.
Yeah, so that's a strategy that they do. And you see the wipers like sell like crazy one, like super a lot. So when they do that, what happens is that when you want to go and buy a wiper on Shopee, for example, when you search wiper, right, you definitely find this guy's store. So you will see like, hey, why this guy so cheap, right? Then you go in, then you hopefully you buy other stuff, right? So because you see in Shopee also it's a tactic, like, oh, if you don't buy like 19 ringgit and above, you don't get like free shipping. So when you buy like 2 wiper at 5 ringgit each, it's only 10 ringgit ma. So confirm you need to tambah something else. So tambah something else, hopefully they can either break even or let's say like untong from somewhere lah, or at least break even lah. So some sellers, they do that. But to me, then it's added cost because you have a staff to pay. You are bringing in all these products from overseas, you know, from wherever, and then you're just doing it that way. So to me, is this sustainable? But okay, this is a strategy that people use in the retail market, like, you know, like Tesco, how they sell like Milo at cost price. Because when you come into Tesco, maybe you will not just buy Milo, you buy something else. So this is some strategy that some sellers use as well. So to answer Diane's question, there's 3 tiers. One that sell at cost, one that sell below cost, and then one sell above cost. So again, no fixed percentage one because it's very like even within my motor category, it's very like depend, because you see the thing with online is that how do you sell with a very high markup? You can't. It's like, let's say if you go to Pavilion today, you see like a Mi store, Xiaomi store. In Pavilion, there's only one. You go in there, you see this product A, they sell at that price, a power bank, for example, a Xiaomi power bank, 80 ringgit, you got nowhere to compare to. You have to buy from the store. But let's say if you go online on Lazada or Shopee, you search that same product, maybe 1,000 listing come out. So how to choose all? Right? So you either choose by price or choose by rating. So it's very hard. There's no hard and fast rule. It's, to me, if your business can survive with that margin, then okay. If not, like you see how these people, they sell under cost so they can survive. So
but the store need to have a lot of different things, you know. If you only sell 1 or 2 Amati, you know.
Yes, and they also roll. Yeah, and these sellers, right, they roll a lot of cash flow. Like, you know, they can probably do like 1 million sales in a month, right? But then you ask, maybe what's your percentage, your profit margin? 2%, 3%? But if you want to do 1 million and do 3%, good for you. You know, I rather do like what, 500K and 20%.
A lot of work like that.
Yeah, because you see, it's like, okay, so some people, they don't see it. Like for me, I see it's like You want to do business, yes. You want to sell a lot, yes. It looks nice on the number, like, oh, I got a $1 million sale on my, Lazada, Shopee. But if you're getting like 2-3% out of it, like, and then you could hire so many workers, whatever, the moment like something happened, right, you go kaboom because you're just, ended up having so much stocks in your hand that you cannot sell. So again, to me, a good business model is knowing your target audience and giving or creating value, and know your USPs, and then you match those. Then you can offer margins because you create a value, you give the customer value, and if customers see value, they're willing to pay one. Like you see, I sell a power bank, 450 ringgit, expensive or not? You see your eyes, you're like, oh, open so big, right? Expensive. Okay, now I tell you the value. This power bank, right, is the most powerful power bank in Malaysia for jump starter, and it can jumpstart a car battery that costs 2,000 ringgit. So the battery that it can jumpstart costs 2,000 ringgit. You ask me, wow, got such battery 2,000 ringgit one? Got those that they use in BMW, Mercedes, Continental car. They call it the AGM battery, and they usually put in the back of the boot. These batteries cost 2,000 ringgit. So let's say MCO time, maybe you forgot to off your light or your battery weak, so your battery cannot start, your car cannot start. Are you sure you're going to change $2,000 ringgit or 2,000 ringgit battery? Or you're going to buy a jump starter and try to jump start first and then drive around, see whether your battery can use again or not. So when you look at that, and you look at Malaysia statistics, right, MA stats, like on Portal or whatever, right, every month, like normal time, there's about 1,000 BMWs being sold every month.
Why is that? Because they cannot afford
I mean, sold as in there's like new car, so like 1,000 sale of BMW, brand new registered, not like selling off, like people buy, right? So there's about 1,000 BMWs and about like 1,000 Mercedes on an average month that people buy. So when you look at it, there's like 2,000 people buying luxury car. This is just BMW, Mercedes, not including other brands, right? So 2,000 people, then you ask yourself, are these 2,000 people, how many can you capture? If I can sell 2,000 units a month times 400, very good. So it's again how you capture the market and how you bring value. Yeah.
So I think today is quite a long session at an hour plus. Yeah, and I think pretty much that's it. If you guys do not have any questions to ask, yeah, I think we're gonna end this live now. Okay. So Diane, yeah. So is there anything else that you guys want to ask? If not, then we just call it off. Okay, so that's it for today live, and thank you everyone, to your support, because this is our number 6 live, I think. Yeah, we're going through like a month plus already. Yeah, and then thanks Quan to join us in this live. So yeah, I hope that all the audience get a lot of useful information in terms of starting your Lazada or your Shopee store, or just any business, because the things that Quan shares is not only on e-commerce, but as overall in business, you need to have the mindset, and the guts, to venture into something new. Okay, so that's it for now. Quan, just last thing, if you have any last thing that you want to tell the audience before we end the sessions.
I think thanks for tuning in, and thanks for listening to us. If you have said something that might have accidentally offended anyone anyway, by all means, it's not intentional. It's just we were just chatting and probably we get carried away. So I hope everyone could take away something that's useful for them. And when you take away something useful, please be sure to pass it on to the next person, because good information is of no use if you keep it to yourself. Do continue spreading and sharing it.
Okay, thanks coming to us tonight. So thank you, and good night, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.